Reading English story The Little House in the Big Woods Chapter 3 Part 2 The Story of Pa and the Voice in the Woods When I was a little boy, not much bigger than Mary, I had to go every afternoon to find the cows in the woods and drive them home.My father told me never to pray by the way, but to hurry and bring the cows home before dark, because there were bears and wolves and panthers in the woods. One day, I started earlier than usual, so I thought I did not need to hurry.There were so many things to see in the woods that I forgot that dark was coming. There were red squirrels in the trees, chipmunks scurrying through the leaf, and little rabbits playing games together in the open place. Little rabbits, you know, always have games together before they go to bed. I began to pray. I was mighty hunter, stalking the wild animals and the Indians. I prayed. I was fighting the Indians until the woods seemed full of wild men. And then, all at once, I heard the birds.Tweeting good night. It was dusky in the pad and dark in the woods. I knew that I must get the cows home quickly, or it would be black night before they were safe in the barn, and I couldn't find the cows. I listened, but I could not hear their bells.I called, but the cows didn't come. I was afraid of the dark and the wild beast, but I dare not go home to my father without the cows. So I ran through the woods, hunting and calling. All the time the shadows were getting thicker and darker, and the woods seemed larger.And the trees and the bush looked strange. I could not find the cows anywhere. I climbed up hills, looking for them and calling, and I went down into dark ravine, calling and looking. I stopped and listened for the cowbells, and there was not a sound.But the rustling of leaf. Then I heard loud breathing and thought a panther was there in the dark behind me. But it was only my own breathing. My bare legs were scratched by the brains, and when I ran to the bush, the branch struck me.But I keep on looking and calling, Shuke, 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 Shuke. I shout with all my might, Shuke. Right over my head, something asked, Who? My hair stood straight on end. Who? The voice says again, and then how I did run.I forgot all about the cows. All I wanted was to get off the dark woods to get home. That thing in the dark came after me and called me again. Woo, woo, woo. I ran with all my might. I ran till I could breathe, and still I keep on running. Something grabbed my foot.And down I went. Up I jumped. And then I ran. Not even a wolf could have caught me. At last, I came out of that woods by the barn. There stood all the cows waiting to be let through the barn. I let them in and then ran to the house. My father looked up and said, "Young man, what makes you so red? Been praying by the way?" I looked down at my feet, and then I saw that one big toenail had been torn clean off. I had been so scared that I had not felt it hurt till that minute. Pa always stopped telling the story here and wait until Laura said, "Go on, Pa, please go on." "Well," Pa said, "then your grandpa went out into the yard and cut a chow sweet, and he came back into the house and gave me a good thrusting so that I would remember to mind him after that. A big boy 9 years old is old enough to remember to mind," he said. "There's a good reason for what I tell you to do," he said, "and if you do as you're told, no harm will come to you." "Yes, yes, Pa," Laura would say, bouncing up and down on Pa's knee. "And then what did he say?" "He said, 'If you obey me as you should, you wouldn't have been out in the big woods after dark, and you wouldn't have been scared by a screech owl.'"